Welcome to World History TV. We're set to embark on an incredible journey through time. From ancient civilizations to modern-day events, we explore stories that have shaped our world. Our rich tapestry of human experience offers countless lessons and fascinating insights. Whether you're a history buff or simply curious about the past, you've come to the right place. Grab your passport to the past. We're delving into defining moments of our history. Together, we'll uncover the events and personalities that made today possible. Join us as we discover the moments that define us on World History TV. Cultural transformation, the swinging 60s. The 1960s ushered in a wave of cultural transformation, often referred to as the swinging 60s. London emerged as a global cultural hub, attracting attention for its vibrant music scene, innovative fashion, and groundbreaking art movements. Influential music groups such as the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and The Who not only revolutionized popular music but also became symbols of a broader cultural shift that challenged traditional norms and values. This period witnessed the rise of youth culture, as young people increasingly embraced alternative lifestyles and questioned established conventions regarding authority, gender roles, and lifestyle choices. Fashion also underwent significant changes, with designers like Quant and Vivienne Westwood introducing bold styles that reflected the era's spirit of experimentation. The visual arts flourished, with movements like pop art, led by figures such as Andy Warhol and Richard Hamilton, redefining artistic boundaries and challenging the distinction between high and low culture. The emergence of cinema as a popular art form further contributed to this cultural renaissance, with films exploring new themes and narratives that resonated with contemporary audiences. Political challenges and European integration. Despite the cultural advancements, England's post-war era was fraught with political challenges. The decision to join the European Economic Community, EEC, in 1973 illustrated the government's efforts to strengthen economic ties with continental Europe. However, this relationship was often contentious, as debates over sovereignty, immigration, and economic policies generated divisions within society. The complexities of European integration highlighted the tensions between local and national identities, leading to increasing skepticism toward the benefits of EU membership. This skepticism culminated in the Brexit referendum in 2016, where a majority of voters opted to leave the European Union. The decision to exit was driven by concerns over national sovereignty, immigration control, and the desire to reclaim regulatory authority. Brexit has had profound and ongoing repercussions, reshaping the economic and political landscape of England and raising questions about trade, immigration, and the country's future in the global arena. The aftermath of the referendum has exposed deep divisions within society, leading to ongoing debates about the implications of leaving the EU for various sectors of the economy and the rights of citizens. Rise of nationalism and regional identity. Domestically, political changes became evident with the rise of nationalist movements in Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, where calls for greater autonomy and self-determination gained traction. In Scotland, the Scottish National Party, SNP, capitalized on sentiments of national identity and the desire for greater control over local affairs. The Scottish independence referendum in 2014, although resulting in a decision to remain part of the United Kingdom, highlighted the growing desire for self-governance and regional identity. The debates surrounding Scottish independence and the future of the Union continue to shape British politics, raising questions about the viability of the United Kingdom as a cohesive entity. In Wales, the establishment of the Welsh Assembly in 1999 marked a significant step toward devolution and self-governance, reflecting a broader trend of regional empowerment. The desire for greater representation and control over local affairs has sparked discussions about the distribution of power within the UK and the implications of nationalism in a globalized world. Ongoing challenges, social and economic inequality. As England navigates the complexities of the modern era, it grapples with pressing issues such as economic inequality, climate change, immigration, and cultural integration. The challenges of globalization and technological advancement have transformed industries and labor markets, prompting ongoing debates about the future of work and the role of government in ensuring economic security for all citizens. The rise of digital technology has created new opportunities but has also exacerbated disparities, leaving certain communities behind. Furthermore, immigration has become a focal point of political discourse, with debates about the impact of migration on social cohesion and public services. The influx of migrants from former colonies and the European Union has contributed to the cultural richness of England, but it has also sparked tensions regarding identity and integration. Present-day England. As of the early 2020s, England is navigating a complex and evolving landscape shaped by a combination of historical legacies, contemporary challenges, and emerging opportunities. The nation's identity and role on the global stage are continually influenced by political, economic, and social dynamics, creating a multifaceted environment that reflects both continuity and change. Political landscape. The political landscape of present-day England is marked by significant transformations and challenges shaped by the outcomes of recent events, particularly Brexit, the COVID-19 pandemic, and shifting societal attitudes. These dynamics reflect a complex interplay between traditional party politics, public sentiment, and the evolving role of the UK in a global context. Post-Brexit era. The 2016 Brexit referendum, where 51.9% voted to leave the European Union, has fundamentally altered the political landscape of England. The decision to leave the EU has had far-reaching implications for the country's governance, economy, and international relations. The process of negotiating the terms of exit was fraught with political turbulence, leading to the resignation of then Prime Minister David Cameron and the rise of Theresa May, who struggled to unify her party and navigate the contentious negotiations with the EU. Under her leadership, the Conservative Party faced significant divisions between hardliners who favored a complete break from the EU and moderates who preferred a softer approach. The inability to reach a consensus on a withdrawal agreement ultimately led to her resignation in 2019, paving the way for Boris Johnson's premiership. Johnson's "Get Brexit Done" campaign resonated with voters who were frustrated by the prolonged negotiations, leading to a decisive Conservative victory in the December 2019 general election. Boris Johnson's leadership. Boris Johnson's tenure as Prime Minister was characterized by his populist style and focus on delivering Brexit. His government successfully negotiated a new withdrawal agreement with the EU, leading to the UK's official departure on January 31, 2020. However, Johnson's leadership faced numerous challenges, including controversies surrounding his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, accusations of cronyism, and ethical concerns regarding government conduct. The pandemic highlighted the critical role of government in public health and economic management. The UK implemented a series of lockdowns and public health measures, which were met with both support and criticism. While the government introduced significant financial support packages to mitigate the economic impact, public dissatisfaction grew over perceived failures in the response, particularly in the early stages of the crisis. In July 2021, amid ongoing controversies and declining approval ratings, Boris Johnson survived a leadership challenge but continued to face internal party dissent and external scrutiny over various issues, including Partygate, a scandal involving government officials attending gatherings during lockdown restrictions. Shift in political sentiment. The political landscape is also characterized by shifting voter sentiments and increasing polarization. The Brexit referendum revealed deep divisions in society, with urban areas generally favoring Remain and rural regions leaning toward Leave. These divides have persisted, influencing political discourse and electoral outcomes. Public trust in traditional political institutions has waned, leading to a rise in support for alternative parties. The Liberal Democrats, Green Party, and Scottish National Party, SNP, have gained traction, reflecting dissatisfaction with the major parties. The SNP, in particular, has capitalized on growing nationalist sentiments in Scotland, advocating for independence and greater autonomy. Labour Party dynamics. The Labour Party, traditionally the main opposition to the Conservative Party, has also undergone significant changes. Following the resignation of Jeremy Corbyn in 2020, the party elected Keir Starmer as leader. Starmer has sought to reposition Labour as a viable alternative to the Conservatives, emphasizing a centrist platform aimed at appealing to a broader voter base. His leadership has focused on addressing issues such as economic inequality, social justice, and public services, but he faces challenges in reconciling the diverse factions within the party and revitalizing its electoral appeal. The Labour Party has struggled to regain lost ground in key constituencies, particularly in former industrial areas that turned to the Conservatives in the 2019 election. Starmer's approach to leadership has been met with mixed reactions, with some party members advocating for a more progressive agenda while others call for a pragmatic, centrist approach to win back disenchanted voters. The rise of regional politics. Regional politics has gained prominence, particularly in Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, where calls for greater autonomy in self-determination have intensified. The SNP has continued to advocate for another independence referendum in Scotland, leveraging public sentiment around Brexit and the desire for self-governance. The success of the SNP in Scottish parliamentary elections has raised questions about the future of the Union and the balance of power between the devolved governments and Westminster. In Wales, the Welsh Labour Party has maintained control of the Senedd, Welsh Parliament, and has focused on issues such as healthcare, education, and social justice. The rise of nationalist movements, including Plaid Cymru, reflects growing demands for greater representation and decision-making power at the regional level. Current challenges and future outlook. As of 2024, the political landscape in England is characterized by uncertainty and potential for significant change. The implications of Brexit continue to unfold, impacting trade, immigration, and relationships with EU partners. Economic challenges, including inflation and cost-of-living crises, remain pressing concerns for policymakers, prompting debates about the role of government in addressing these issues. The public's response to ongoing challenges will shape the political environment leading up to the next general election. The political landscape is likely to remain dynamic, influenced by the actions of party leaders, evolving voter preferences, and the broader socio-economic context. Economic challenges in present-day England. As of 2024, England faces a range of economic challenges that stem from a combination of long-standing issues and more recent developments. The repercussions of Brexit, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, inflationary pressures, and shifts in global economic dynamics have created a complex environment for policymakers, businesses, and citizens alike. 1. Brexit implications. The decision to leave the European Union has had profound effects on the English economy. Key challenges include trade disruptions. The new trade agreements and customs regulations established post-Brexit have led to disruptions in the flow of goods and services. Many businesses, particularly those reliant on seamless trade with EU partners, have faced increased costs and bureaucratic hurdles. For instance, exporters have reported delays at borders and additional paperwork, which can lead to lost business opportunities. Labor shortages. Changes to immigration laws following Brexit have resulted in labor shortages in critical sectors such as agriculture, hospitality, and healthcare. The end of free movement has made it more challenging for businesses to hire workers from the EU, leading to rising wages in some industries and concerns about the ability to meet demand. Investment uncertainty. Brexit has created a climate of uncertainty that has affected investment decisions. Many businesses have postponed or scaled back investments due to concerns over future trading relationships, regulatory changes, and market access. This uncertainty can hinder economic growth and innovation. 2. Impact of COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic has further complicated England's economic landscape. Key challenges include economic contraction. The pandemic led to a significant contraction in the economy, with the UK experiencing one of the steepest declines among advanced economies. Lockdowns and restrictions resulted in business closures, particularly in sectors like hospitality, retail, and travel, leading to widespread job losses. Public debt. To mitigate the economic fallout, the government implemented extensive support measures, such as the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme, Furlough Scheme, and various financial aid packages for businesses. While these measures helped preserve jobs and support the economy, they also contributed to a substantial increase in public debt, raising concerns about long-term fiscal sustainability. Supply chain disruptions. The pandemic exacerbated existing vulnerabilities in global supply chains, leading to shortages of goods and increased prices. Disruptions in production and transportation have resulted in delays and increased costs for businesses and consumers. 3. Inflation and cost of living crisis. In the wake of the pandemic and geopolitical events, inflation has emerged as a pressing challenge. Key factors include rising costs. Inflation rates in England have surged, driven by rising energy prices, supply chain bottlenecks, and increased demand as the economy reopened. The cost of living crisis has placed immense pressure on households, particularly those on fixed incomes, as essential goods and services become more expensive. Interest rates. In response to rising inflation, the Bank of England has raised interest rates to manage inflationary pressures. Higher interest rates can increase borrowing costs for households and businesses, impacting consumer spending and investment. This can further slow economic recovery and growth. Wage growth versus inflation. While wages have risen in some sectors due to labor shortages, they have not kept pace with inflation. This has led to real wage stagnation, reducing purchasing power and contributing to growing inequality. Many households are struggling to make ends meet, leading to increased reliance on food banks and support services. 4. Regional economic disparities. Economic challenges in England are also characterized by significant regional disparities. Key issues include uneven recovery. Different regions have experienced varying rates of economic recovery following the pandemic. Areas heavily reliant on tourism and hospitality, such as coastal towns, have struggled more than urban centers with diverse economies. This uneven recovery can exacerbate existing inequalities and contribute to social tensions. Investment gaps. Regions outside of London and the Southeast often face challenges in attracting investment and creating jobs. This has led to calls for targeted policies to promote economic development in underserved areas, including infrastructure investment, skills training, and support for local businesses.